Welcome back to Yellow Cottage Soapery. Tonight I am making a tropical scented soap. It has mangoes and papayas and coconut, and it does supposedly discolor a little bit. It has a little bit of vanillin in it. I'm going to go with just two colors for the main soap. I'm going to do mostly yellow with a little bit of a pink, probably just like a drop swirl, something simple. And then I want to have a little bit of green. I don't think I'm going to put it on the inside. I'm going to use it for piping on the top. I'm going to try to pipe some hibiscus flowers because there is hibiscus flower notes in this scent. So in order for me to do that, the soap has to be really firm and set up so that it has more of a defined flower. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm using my wooden mold that we made, and let's go ahead and get started. This fragrance, I noticed, is very yellow, so that kind of helped me make my decision to go with mostly a yellow base, because I have a feeling it's going to turn that way anyway. This is going to be pink. And then this is going to be a little bit of green. Just for the piping. Is that going to be enough? Do a tiny bit more. Going with lemon pop, and I'm going to go with just a little bit extra, more than I normally would, only to help kind of counteract the discoloration a little bit. And I debated on going with a tropical, like a darker green, but I decided on Lorne Green from Mad Oils. It's a really pretty soft green. And I kind of want the flowers to really stand out, so, oops. Now the pink is actually pink sparkle mica. This is a sample I got from Crafter's Choice. I'm trying to use some of my samples because I have so many. So I'm going to add this, mix it up, and then I might add a little bit of something else. Oh, this is flying everywhere. Okay. That look kind of pretty. I don't know if the camera picks it up. It's really shimmery. And I have stuff flying, mica flying everywhere. Alright, let's go ahead and mix up the yellow. I want, let's see, I want a little bit more of a pastel-y yellow, bright, I don't know, I'm not sure what I want, I just know when I see it. So I have a little bit of titanium dioxide. This is oil soluble, and because I want the soap to be thick when I pour it, I'm okay with mixing it in this way. I know you probably never see anybody mix titanium dioxide in like that. I used to do it all the time because I really prefer to pour my soap when it's thicker. So I never minded blending more. And I never had a problem with it getting mixed in, so The only reason I stopped doing it is because I started using water soluble. This is more the yellow that I was looking for. Okay. And the fragrance may make it a little bit more yellow as well, so. That is definitely not the pink I'm going for, so let's see. I have a little bit, I don't know what this is. It's from Nurture Soap. And let's see what this looks like. A little better, but I want it a little bit brighter, I think. So we'll go with a little bit of Pretty Pink from Be Scented. Just a little, tiny little punch. I do not want neon, but I want a bright pink. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Don't be afraid to mix colors, guys. I mean, you know, if you're iffy about doing it in soap, kind of like how I wing it, you know, pre-mix it with your oil in the beginning. You don't always get the exact, you know, you don't always know exactly what it's going to look like in soap, but it gives you, you know, a rough idea of what the soap will look like if you pre-mix. I just like, most of the time I can get a color that I'm happy with or that I have in mind. Isn't that a beautiful pink? I love it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and add some fragrance to this. I'm going to add the majority, obviously, to the yellow because there's more of it, but also because I want, I don't want the pink to really discolor. But I do want to add it so that hopefully they set up about the same time, because I'm going to be putting both colors into the same piping bag. So it's always a lot easier if they're about the same consistency. And I had a feeling that this was going to, a lot of fruity fragrances for me, I find, thin out when I add the fragrance. I've never soaked with this particular fragrance before. And as you guys know, I always add it, I always add my fragrance after I mix my colors. It's just the way I do it. Everybody does it different. There's no right or wrong way to do that. It's what you feel comfortable with. And I use so many different fragrances that I find it is much easier for me. I'm just going to add a tiny bit to the green so I don't forget. It's just much easier for me to, you know, I have a routine, I guess you could say. And I'm a very habit, like I have a very habitual personality, I guess you could say. I do things relatively the same, you know, the same order. I don't think I'm OCD necessarily. I'm just, I think it gives me less anxiety. It feels more organized to me. I mean, believe me, I change it up. You guys know I wing it half the time. And I like doing that. I love that yellow, too. Yellow's my favorite. Alright, so I'm just going to stir this green and I'm going to set it aside. This is just going to be for some foliage in the background of the soap. It's so weird just using two colors, but kind of fun. Alright, so here's my mold. think I'm going to try to move my camera to the other side when I pipe so that maybe you can see better, I'm hoping. You guys can see now. So I'm just going to drop it in. I don't think I'm going to swirl it or anything. I have a hard time doing a drop swirl and leaving it because I always want to. And you can see the consistency of this. This is exactly how I like to pour. If it's too thin, the swirls aren't as defined, if that makes sense. The colors tend to kind of run into each other. And that's a great look, and I do it that way sometimes. But ever since when I started soaping, one thing I realized is I like to pour it when it's thicker. It's just my preference. And there's you know, a lot of designs that require your soap to be fluid. And there's some people that are amazing at that. And that's just not my, I'm just not as good at that. So usually when I'm not great at something, it makes me do it more so I can be better at it. But I don't know, with this in particular, I like to pour it when it's thicker. Oh, this smells so good. Wow. I just got a really big whiff, and it is really nice. Now, I need to make sure I save enough for the flowers on the top. Guys, I want to swirl this. I don't know what to do. I guess I won't. Trying to think. I'm gonna do a little bit more yellow, I think. I don't think I need quite this much, but I do need more yellow than pink, because hibiscus come in a bazillion colors. So I chose one that is yellow on the outside, and it is pink on the inside. I'm so afraid I'm not going to save enough. Maybe that's too much. I don't know. Oh no. Okay. I'm going to... show you how I decided to do this piping, because I want the pink to be on the inside, and I'm not good at putting it in the piping bag and having it come out the way I want it. So I have a piece of press and seal right here, Glad, I think it's made by Glad, and I'm just going to kind of line the pink down. Now this is a technique I've seen cake decorators do, because I have watched a lot of cake decorating videos. I think Jen from Anna and Suds and Such has also done this technique. So it's not as if I've come up with it. And I have tried it before. I can't remember how it worked, but... Alright, so let's see if I want to put the yellow. Okay, and because I'll be holding my tip, this is a 104 Wilton rose tip. I will be holding the larger part of the tip down. So I want that to be the pink on that side. So I'm just going to kind of slide this in. Now, I may have saved way too much pink, and there may be too much pink in the flower, but I've also seen ones that kind of are pink with a little bit of a yellow ruffle. So either way, it's fine. I think I was supposed to push this down through the thing and then snip it. I think that's what I was supposed to do, and I didn't do that right. So don't follow my lead here. I just wanted to show you how I was going to do this. So I actually need to turn it because it's not lining up how I want it to. Okay, so that looks good. So now I'm just going to shake it down. And you'll see the pink is way back. Why does it do that? Okay, I'm going to clean up the rest of my dishes, and I will be back when this is ready to pipe. I'm going to go ahead and pipe. Now, I've let these set up quite a while. I have a tip 61 Wilton in here. It's kind of a wave, a little bit thicker at one end than the other. And I'm just going to kind of make some leaves for the leaves in the background. And then I went ahead, and this is ready in the, hopefully ready in the piping bag. This is much firmer than I normally pipe. So this is a tip 104, and I put it on a coupler just in case I needed to switch it out if it wasn't working. But I'm going to go ahead and do some of the green in the background first. I don't really have a plan for this. As you can see, I kind of messed around when I first put it in the bag, and you can see it's, when it's not really ready and you're looking for more of a defined flowers or leaves, you want to wait till it's set up a little bit, because otherwise it just, you know, looks kind of runny or whatever. And it's fine, you know, if you just want some greenery in the background. I was hoping for a little bit more definition. I was going to put the camera on the other side. I tried it, and it was weird. So, I don't know the best way. I'm going to have to maybe work with my husband and have him help me figure out a good angle to do this so that you can see the piping. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of, I don't know, I have the wider end of the tip facing towards me, so the kind of the little divot is on the top. I'm just going to, I don't know, I'm just kind of playing right now. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do. Just want some kind of cool leaves to show up in the background. I'm just going to set this aside for now, and I'm going to try to go ahead and see if I can make a hibiscus. Now, hibiscus has 5 petals, and it's kind of roughly on the edge. I know there's different types, but that's the type I want to do. So normally with a rose tip, the 104. I usually, and I'm going to pipe with the larger part down. Right now, I'm just going to kind of make 5 little pads, I guess you could say. Now, I don't know if I'll stick with doing this, but I want to make, come on. It doesn't want to come out. 5 little, I don't think I'm going to make the pads. I think I'm just going to go for it because it does seem to be pretty thick. I'm wondering if the plastic is, I don't think I did that right. Okay, so with this, I think you just kind of hold it and you just kind of apply pressure and let it frill out at the end. And wiggle it. And you can see the pink is starting to come out a little. So I'm just pushing it and then I'm wiggling it and I'm coming back. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not in the camera. I'm just starting in the center, pushing, applying pressure and kind of wiggling it and bringing it back. This one has 5 petals, but I'm going to give it just another little one because I didn't space them very good. So, but I'm liking that the pink is showing up in the center. You guys can see that, which was what I was hoping for. So I'm going to kind of move along here before it thickens too much and just kind of place them randomly. I will do my best to have my hand out of the way. It's just very hard to hold it and try to do what I'm doing and focus on that. I'm trying my best though. back to cut this soap, which I'm going to call Paradise Daiquiri because it smells like a yummy drink that you would have on vacation. So I thought that would be a good name for it. Now it's going to be kind of plain on the inside, but I think it's kind of cool because I very rarely only use 2 colors on the inside, so, and very rarely do I refrain from trying to do some type of a swirl on the inside. So I think that this turned out pretty. Oh, that's a pretty drop swirl. Smells so good. I'll just cut one more. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video.